This is KUGAN CASSIUS Rifle TV in association with Mackley's Zuma Bay. We're in Leeds here for the Warrior Returns press conference.
How's your cough?
April the 16th. We'll come on to that.
I've noticed that when you take air in, it makes you cough. So when you go, anyway.
It's been bad this week. I don't know how strong.
Terrible. I listened to it for 4 hours in the car this morning.
Everyone's got it though.
I haven't.
No, but there's loads of people that've got it. Honestly. The cough isn't like something I invented.
I haven't heard the cough.
What?
For 15 minutes. I haven't heard the cough.
You're jinxing it now.
Let's do a little. Viewers can play along with this at home, right? Don't edit the video with your coughs. How many coughs will you have? Coughing fit. So it's not. That's not 2. That's a coughing fit.
Right.
Right.
So how many you
So how many will you have during this interview? I will say 4.
4.
But viewers can play along. You can have 5 over there. You can.
I will say 2.
2. Okay.
I will say 2.
Okay.
You're back in Leeds.
Yeah, we are.
Warrior Returns. Amagasa.
Yeah. It's nice to get a bit of credit from the hardcores.
Yeah. But, I mean, would you say his biggest accomplishment in his career is knocking down Riggin twice?
He's having a good fight, Riggin. Yeah, I would say that's probably the best performance of his career. He's got some good wins on his record. He's dangerous, he can punch, he's freakishly tall for a featherweight. But, of course, everyone knows him from the Riggin fight. But, you know, I don't think there's many that wouldn't say this is the toughest fight of Josh's career. But he wants a tough fight. And to be honest with you, one of the great things about dealing with Josh and Steve Wood and Josh's dad is he could fight anyone here and fill this arena. But he doesn't want to fight anyone. He wants to develop, he wants to improve, he wants to give people value for money. And whenever I mention a fighter like Amagasa, you know, Amagasa came on to me asking him to fight Selby. Obviously he's got to fight Hunter. So I thought, cool, that's a good fight for Warrington. I doubt they'll take him. Phone him up, yeah, we'll have him. It's so pleasing as a promoter. And listen, sometimes the promoter's holding the fighter back. But a lot of the time, it's people around fighters that don't enable you to make the fights that you want to make. And that's what's refreshing about him. Even Stewie Hall on the undercard, he'll fight anyone. Dave Ryan, anyone. So this is a fighter's card.
You're trying to match up Ryan and Hall?
No, it wasn't Ryan at all. It was Josh and Stuart Hall were standing next to each other in a photo, and I thought, it's a good fight in a couple of years, because Stewie Hall might end up at featherweight. But Guerrero is a former world champion. That's a final eliminator to become the mandatory for Lee Haskins. Stewie said, quite rightly, you could have that fight in a phone box. You could. And he won the world title at this venue, so it's going to be a great fight as well.
Who else is on the card? Obviously, we know that.
Martin J. Ward. You've got Callum Johnson will be in a big title fight. You've got Dave Ryan against Reno Garrido. 3 or 4 other boys as well to be announced. But, you know, obviously the main 2 fights is the Warrington Amagasa and Hall against Rodrigo, final eliminator.
So Warrington comes through Amagasa, and it's not a given. Let's have it right. Could his potential next fight be with Selby in the summer?
I want 100%. That's the fight. You know.
What does Al say?
Al, we're already talking. We're already looking at venues. We're already looking at dates. They've got to fight Hunter, tough fight. He's got to fight Amagasa, tough fight. But that fight, outside of probably a Santa Cruz fight or a Gary Russell fight, well, actually probably even generates the most money for Lee Selby. And I think Lee Selby fancies it. I think he thinks he can beat Josh Warrington. Personally, I think it's a very close fight. I think Selby has operated at a high level, and I think he's an exceptional fighter. But it's not easy to come to Leeds in front of 40,000. And I want to see that fight. Would you like to see that fight?
I do want to see that fight, yeah.
So, you know, we're on a little bit of a hot spell at the moment. What?
I'm not convinced about your numbers.
Well, what are you not convinced? That's why you carried out and I take risks on numbers.
I'm not convinced it does 40,000.
No, I'm not. Well, I believe it does 30,000. But, you know, when you create an event, it's like, you know, Joshua White, I know he's different, it's world heavyweight title. Could have done 80,000. So if that can do 80,000, and you've got a city here that is devoted and obsessed with their charge in Josh Warrington, for a world title fight in Leeds, a one-off event that will go down in history that you can tell your grandkids about, that you were there when Leeds' Josh Warrington fought for the world title. They'll be out in numbers. Don't underestimate our friends from Leeds.
We had this discussion on the train about numbers, about gates and things like that, and you know, I said to you about Foxgrove's 2, which is the pinnacle of all British boxing events in terms of revenue, gate, etc. And I said to you it was kind of the lead on from the first, the hype round it to sort of make that event as big as it was. But to pull off those events isn't always that easy. You said to me that if Joshua hopefully becomes world champion on the night, his first defence
could be at Wembley.
And you believe it's sell out?
100%. He's a phenomenon. The numbers they don't lie. This fight against Charles Martin could have sold 80,000 tickets. I'm telling you, I know. There is a desire again to have an event at Wembley, the National Stadium. Boxing is much bigger now than it was during the period of Froch Groves. There's all kinds of things in your favour. People said, "Oh, would you go Wembley with Brooke Khan?" Yeah, I would, and it would sell out.
That one I'm convinced would.
But Joshua is bigger than Khan. But Khan doesn't sell tickets anywhere near like Anthony Joshua does, and he's a freak. You know, you don't see.
You're talking about Joshua first.
No, I'm talking about he's a freak as a he's a commercial freak. Yeah, we've seen it on today. They brought our website down today. We have murders. You know, thousands and thousands. People not even with Fight Pass memberships coming on trying to get in. It's crazy. But you know, all he's got to do is win a world title. He's just got to beat Charles Martin. And, you know, press conference on Friday.
Should be interesting. I've watched a couple of Charles Martin's interviews recently. Actually, I've not really heard him speak a lot. I saw an interview with Andy Scott. Actually, they seem a little bit vocal.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think seems like a nice bloke, to be honest with you. Listen, I think he fancies the fight. He wants to be involved in huge fights. Obviously, he's going to make a few quid. He's up for it. Young man who wants to, you know, he's undefeated.
I know he's probably getting paid an obscene amount of money to come here, but it just takes some bollocks to come, like I said, in your first defence, over to the UK.
He has no fear. He has no fear of Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
I think, I said to Josh after the Dylan White fight, I think this fight's done you some favours because a lot of people would fancy the fight with you now. They didn't before the Dylan White fight. But, you know, we've actually found that still a lot of top heavyweights didn't fancy the fight with Joshua. But Charles Martin did. And good luck to him, fair play to him. I know it's a real fight, and I can't wait.
You should put Dylan White on some of your cards.
He's injured.
I know, but after he recovers...
He's not going to be ready till June. I'm sure we'll have a conversation. Listen, I think Chisora's going to fight Pulev. I mean, I can't believe Chisora's turned down the Anthony Joshua fight for the money that we offered him to fight Pulev in Germany for like a tenth of the money. But I don't get it.
Would you go back to him after if Joshua is successful?
Yeah, listen, if he can beat Pulev, we'll give him the same offer.
Something I didn't talk to you about the other day was the retirement of Kevin Mitchell, who obviously has been with you for the latter part of his career.
Not long enough. I wish I would have had him earlier. He would have been world champion for sure.
But 13 years a pro, and like I said, had a long in-depth chat with him the other day, and spent most of his career with Frank, and then obviously came to you, but it just wasn't to be for Kevin. One aspiration to be a world champion.
I think if you're going to be critical, I think he knuckled down too late. He didn't have the guidance in the early part of his career that he needed. Tony Sims has been, you know, just a saviour for Kevin Mitchell. They knew each other from the amateurs and were close when he was a kid, and he's directed his life since he's joined us, and he's managed his money. You know, he's earned a lot of money with us, and he's managed to get himself in order, but too late. You know, if I could have had that discipline instilled in him 5 or 6 years before we signed him. He's a phenomenal talent, Kevin Mitchell. One of the most naturally gifted fighters, I think, potentially ever in this country. And you know what I like about Kevin Mitchell is after the Barroso fight, I thought that might be it, and I always think, has he got enough money? You know, he's made a nice few quid, but do we give him one more payday? Ricky Burns pulled out the Tatley fight, and Kevin Mitchell was next in the line. So I spoke to the EBU and said, look, I know we've lost for an interim world title, but we got the fight with Tatley, and it was a good payday for him. But in my mind, without telling Kevin Mitchell that was his final sign-off. I thought, he can beat Tatley, but will he have the motivation in the gym, really? And will he get the decision in Finland? But regardless of all that, whatever happens, he's got another chunk of money and he can walk away. And he couldn't go on anymore. But he made the honest decision. He could have gone through with that fight, but he knew he wasn't himself. He knew he didn't have the desire. He knew he couldn't train hard. He just had enough. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like, it's a bit of a brutal description, but you know when someone's in the final stages of their life and, you know, they slip away, the fight's not there anymore. Do you know what I mean? Someone's ill and, you know, you urge them to keep battling on but in the end they just pass away peacefully. I'm sorry for the brute, but do you understand what I mean? It's like the fight's gone. I'm at peace now. I want to rest. I want to be happy. I'm comfortable in my life. I'm sorry to be so morbid, but that's what it felt like. And I was disappointed with his decision at first, you know, because I thought, blimey, I worked so hard to get that fight, Kev. And then I thought, you know what? He's just been true to himself. He's been true to the fans, and he's been true to himself. He's been true to his career. So I haven't got it anymore. You haven't coughed once.
I know.
It's the Benadryl.
I actually knew that.
But anyway, so Kevin's going to be under Tony Sims's wing, helping out in the gym, and he will be, if he wants to do it, and again, his life's changed. Everyone changes. You know, you're not the same person. How old are you now?
2 years younger than you.
34. So you're a different person than you were when you were 26, 27. And I'm completely different now than I was when I was 26, and totally different to how I was when I was 19. And Kevin he doesn't want to mess around. You know, he's got a couple of lovely sons, he's got himself in order, he wants to achieve something in life. And that now will come through being a trainer. And he will be a great trainer if that's what he wants to do. He's got a fantastic boxing mind. And if that's what he wants to do, he will be a wonderful trainer for young fighters.
You cursed it. I won't too bad. Do you think the undercard to April the 9th will be better than December the 12th?
No.
Before you said it would.
Hold on. Before he was never fighting Charles Martin.
Right.
Listen, it's still going to be a wonderful card. It probably won't be as deep.
Yeah.
I think we'll probably have 4 or 5 championship fights. We probably would have had 6. But I'm sorry. We had to stick a nice few quid in. So the numbers have got right up.
Don't blame you.
Thanks, mate.
Any updates on New Bank? We know he's it's been announced that the Blackwell fight's going ahead. Tickets have gone on sale, so we're assuming that fight is going to take place.
Yes, so I'm assuming.
So after that, what's the deal? Flights back? Well, say.
Listen, who knows? Who knows? I mean, life's too short to. You know, it's not often I agree with my erstwhile friend Frank Warren, but I saw in one of his interviews with you where he just says, life's too short, you know, I can't be dealing with this. Life's not about aggravation, misery, just frustration, pain, where the common sense is just smacking you in the face. So, who knows? Never say never, but you know, we've got a lot to concentrate on at the moment. And we're in a great place. We've got some great shows coming up. We've got Quigg Frampton next week. We've got Joshua against White, World Heavyweight title. We've got Leeds. We've got Sheffield. We've got Birmingham. Looking at Belfast, Liverpool, big show. Manchester, not announced yet, but you know, so see.
Is what it is. There is actually quite an exciting little thing to that April the 9th card, and you can't announce it yet though, can you?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it looks like a debutant for us on April 9th. Oh, the way you had to just go.
Well, you knew I was talking about.
That's exciting. There's some big fights on there, big domestic fights, probably a world title fight or 2. So it's going to be a big night.
Could Gale be on it?
Maybe. It's difficult because obviously that's an expensive fight.
His manager's changed now, isn't it?
And that's Medina. A shame because you know, the fight against Who's Cat's Guy, or whatever his name is a good fight. Tall, awkward southpaw who can punch. Now he's got Rogelio Medina, which is not quite as, you know, still a world title fight, but I might be looking to do James on his own show in May.
Really? get Chunky back over here. Tell Al, ring up Al and say,
I
look,
think they're all missing out not being over here, to be honest with you.
we're missing out. I know we get to see it because they're on Sky, but
But I think this is where it's at. You can lay the bluff and say Hollywood, baby. But let's remember where you're born and bred, and remember this market is flourishing and it's powerful and it's profitable, and you can do a lot here.
Hence the phone calls from people like Leonard Ellaby.
Yes.
Hey Eddie, can we talk? Is that how it was?
No, it's nothing like that.
No, right. I'd love to have heard that conversation.
Are you mugging off my mate Leonard?
Leonard's the man.
Leonard is
the man.
Cool,
Don't worry about that. It's a great idea. Rocky Felding. If this comes off though, it's quite a
It will.
lot of work before that can be done though.
No, it's just time. It's just, there's so much going on that it's just getting round to things and, But at the moment, we're up to potentially end of April, could be in Belfast, May the 7th looking at Manchester. But beyond that, everything's a blank canvas. And it depends on a lot of things. The Quigg Frampton. Who is it?
I don't know.
Can I get it? Come on. KUGAN's phone. Could I ask who's calling?
Yeah, of course you can. You say it's Alan Foley from Queensbury Boxing League. You spoke to my colleague Ross Minter a couple of days ago.
Okay, he's just in a meeting at the moment. Can I ask him to give you a call back on this number?
You can, Mr. Hearn. Yes, please.
You're actually live. Well, not live, but you're on IFL TV, so you will see this call later on today. But he's just interviewing me.
I'm sure it's a pleasure that he's got, and I shall let you carry on.
Good man.
Yeah.
Good man. Speak to you later. Cheers. Bye.
Cheers, bye.
Awkward.
Everyone wants IFL at the moment.
Awkward.
Why?
It was a bit awkward, wasn't it?
No, it's alright.
I feel a bit,
That's all right.
Obviously, I knew he'd probably see it later on, but the fact that he knew it was me.
Yeah.
And
Did you hear what he said? Is that Eddie O?
he said, "Thanks, Eddie."
Oh.
Yeah.
Now, if your phone rings next, can I answer
It's
the
on
call?
silent.
No, but in the car even, can I answer it? Will you let me answer it?
No,
Why?
because people don't want to be greeted by
Eddie's phone.
coughing fits.
I won't cough. If I did one cough.
Sometimes in the office, say it gets to like 6 o'clock and there's no one in, and the reception's gone home. The phone will ring. I'll go, Matchroom, hello. Yeah, all right, mate. I'm phoning about tickets for so-and-so. Actually, they're on sale on Thursday. That ain't Eddie Hearn, is it? Okay. No, mate. It is, isn't it? No, it's not. It's not. I know that's you. I know it's you. No, mate. Sorry. There's another call coming in.
All right. Unless you have any other
No,
news.
I'm just rambling on, waiting for you to cough again.
No, I'm not going to cough. I'm fine. Anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Just Joshua Martin Friday.
Friday, and then fight week, baby. Fight week. Quigg
Thanks for
Frampton.
happening.
What, on fight week?
Yeah, there's going to be some issue about the canvas
Oh,
with
there
the
will
gloves.
be. No, it'll be officials.
Officials, yeah.
Something at the arena. The ring, 100%. The gloves, 100%. Barry's going to lose his rag big time next week. I'm going to really try
your
and
old
push
man?
some buttons. I'm old man. I'm going to push some buttons.
We look forward to it. Can't wait. Eddie Hearn, thank you
Cheers,
very
mate.
much to IFL TV.
One cough, by the way. One.
Good.
I don't reckon anyone in the sweepstake had one.
No. Cheers, Ed.
Cheers.